Let's move to the NBA, where James Harden and the Sixers have a new deal. Harden has reportedly agreed to a contract that will pay him $33 million this season and gives him a player option of nearly $36 million next season. He had previously declined a $47 million player option for this coming season. Frank, how should the Sixers feel about their new deal with James Harden?
Well, they should be happy, but before we nominate James Harden for the Nobel Prize for humanitarian work for taking less money, and listen, he did help them out because they were able to get P.J. Tucker from Miami. So not only are they hurting Miami, they're helping themselves. But if you go, this is all about James Harden. And I know they wanted to upgrade their depth, but it's a superstar-driven league. And the superstar last year in Game 6 against Miami, he scored 11 points, he made 4 field goals, and he didn't go to the free throw line. So the questions about James Harden are going to follow him all through next season. Has he lost a step? Does he get that separation? Can he still be a superstar player? Now, he's going to be motivated, Mina, because if he has a good year, you know there's a wink-wink deal. Next July, he's going to opt out of that contract, and then he'll sign the massive deal. That first run that he had in Brooklyn, MVP candidate. Hurt his hamstring, hasn't been the same player since.
I share your concern, which is why I do think this was a good deal for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Really, the only risk with it would be if he came back and was so awesome that they regretted not getting him for a longer deal at a lower price. But given the way he was trending last season, you talked about his performance in the playoffs, worst three-point shooting percentage of his career, struggled very obviously to get to the rim. I don't think that's likely to happen. So to me, this feels like they walked a very fine line. They need him in the short term to remain contenders as much as he struggled. But this keeps them from making a huge mistake in the long term, which I think is what would happen if they potentially signed him to a longer deal.
Yeah, and I think, number one, they got better. But don't you find it interesting? Ben Simmons' last game for Philadelphia, he has a terrible game. It's against Atlanta in a Game 7, and he's out of town. James Harden had a shocking game against Miami. 11 points. He doesn't go to the free throw line. Didn't even want to shoot the ball in the second half. What does he get? An extension, and everyone is thanking him. Thanks for taking less money. Now we're able to sign more players. It's interesting how the narrative is for both players right there.
That's a really good point.